You read the headline, you read the title. No, this isn't the Twilight Zone, and this isn't clickbait. My news reference, and I shudder to say this, but it comes from Kotaku. Okay, I'll leave a link in the description below. A lot of YouTubers are coming out talking about this, ReviewTech USA, Alpha Omega Sins, and I'm sure plenty of others have already spoken about this, but I want to put my 2 cents in. Apparently, Konami is a quote-unquote slave labor camp, as said by some people. Other people are calling it horrible work conditions. Now, before I actually get into what is and isn't horrible work conditions, let's talk about what's actually happening. Again, I am referencing Kotaku. This is not mine. It's not mine. I'm not making this up. I'm not saying I discovered this myself. So, if you got a complaint, take it up with the news story, okay? Kojima Productions, you guys know them. They've made almost every Metal Gear Solid there is, and yeah, the whole fallout with Hideo Kojima. Yeah, well, their studio is known as Number 8 Production Department. Jesus. While stripped them of their label, and apparently all the computers in this section were stripped of internet privileges and only able to send internal messages. Not good stuff, man. There are reports also of employees leaving the company offices during lunch breaks and having their absences monitored with punch cards to see who has left too long and was late for lunch, and they would have their names publicly announce their company as some kind of shaming. I'm not sure if the employees even cared about that stuff. Why would you care? Like, oh, okay, Bob was late by a minute. I don't care. Anyways, most of the Konami employees don't have their own permanent company email addresses. So yeah, staff that has to deal with outside company, such as like PR do, they have issues with contacting people. So if you were to email someone who worked at Konami, they have their email addresses shuffled around and they just don't get to send emails to each other. And this prevents other companies from scouting the software developers over at Konami, because obviously they're not treating them well, so this would be a prime opportunity to scalp them. Anyways, Konami game developers who aren't useful are sent to demoralizing jobs like janitorial work and sent to work in pachinko factories and things like that Konami has going. By the way, there's a Konami Castlevania themed game where it's kind of pornographic in nature. You should definitely check Alpha Omega Sin's video on that one. I'll go ahead and let you guys go ahead and check that. But yeah, they're really doing some freaky stuff over there. Anyways, one of the former employees announced leaving on Facebook also, and the post was monitored, and Konami shuffled the people's jobs who liked that post. Okay, so I wanted to get into if working conditions are or not bad. So the final thing I wanted to hit on is that there are cameras in the office quarters that are not for security specifically, but rather to monitor Konami's own employees. So let's begin. Firstly, out of all of that stuff I've heard of, there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it. It's incredibly stupid, all except for the cameras monitor the employees. Now, there's a fine line you can walk between illegal and legal, and that line sometimes flows over into the moral and the unmoral, and then that line also flows into the stupid and smart. So using cameras to monitor your employees if they're known to steal is smart. You know, if you have a high value item, like over in my local book factory, whenever high grade books or things for like Visa or MasterCard go through there, they monitor people that work there. I mean, it's not like they're just spying on you to spy on you. They monitor you for stealing. However, in Konami's case, I'm not entirely sure that's what's going on. If I had to take a guess, the whole internet restriction and the camera monitoring and the shaming for lunch breaks is to prevent leaks in their company about what was happening with Kojima and their team and the restructuring of the business itself. Because anyone who let word out that this stuff was happening, I guarantee you there would have been a huge blowback from the community. And I'm fairly certain people who are going to be buying Konami games will probably buy Metal Gear Solid 5 and that's it. They're going to be done with Konami. I mean, Bloodstained Ritual was going to blow the crap out of anything Konami's made in a while, man. Honestly, I think the last good Metal Gear Solid game I played was Metal Gear Solid Revengeance Rising. I don't know. The one where Raiden's a samurai ninja cutting up Metal Gears, stuff like that. Yeah, cool game. I like that a lot, but it's been a while. And Metal Gear Solid, oh god, I can't remember the name of it. The demo that's out for free right now on Xbox Marketplace, that was free for Xbox Live Games with Gold. That Metal Gear Solid wasn't that good to me. I just didn't like it. I didn't enjoy it. It's not my thing, not like the other Metal Gears. So yeah, the fine line that's being rode, I feel like it's to prevent the leaks here. And that's what I feel that all of this is happening. Now, their method of punishing people for getting out of line is not to say, oh, we're gonna garnish your wages, or oh, we're gonna reprimand you, but instead, like, you're gonna shuffle their job, you're gonna make them a janitor? Like, that's just stupid, man. You have a guy who went to college to develop games, you know? He's there to develop games, and you're shuffling his job with a janitor or, you know, the front desk clerk? Why? You're just wasting assets. And, you know, I don't know if they're getting paid the same amount. I can't imagine that they wouldn't be, honestly, unless they actually got sent to a different company making pachinko machines. And the person who talked about that said that they were very depressed going from being a game developer to making pachinko machines. So it's very upsetting and very sad that stuff like that happens, and I feel bad for these individuals. I have no love for Konami. I'm not hating on them. It's just kind of silly that this stuff is occurring in a game company. I've worked at a factory before where my lunch breaks are 30 minutes to the dot. If I come back late, I get in trouble. I've worked at a company before where there's cameras everywhere and they monitor everything. It's not because they're monitoring us employees working, it's for security reasons, but it was highly secure. You know, I've worked at companies before where we don't get to use the internet and things like that. But I don't find any of this to be slave labor inducing. I just don't. The only thing that I am bothered by is the cameras that are explicitly used to monitor people's activities. And again, that might just be to prevent people from leaking things. I don't know, it's quite an extreme measure. They must have to be like 4K cameras to be able to zoom in and see what the person's typing on the screen or something, you know? Kind of silly anyways. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm just letting you guys know what's going on so you can make informed decisions about game purchases in the future. If you'd like more information on this, the link in the description below, and I've been your host, Protomario, and I'm signing out. Leave me a comment down below. Do you think Konami is a slave-driving labor institution, or do you think they're just a normal company doing some crazy outlandish stuff? Have a good one, have a great day, good gaming, and God bless. And now, the important decision of joining the Maverick Rebellion. We are a tight group of individuals who rebel against stereotypes and greater evils that are commonly accepted. ISPs, children being conned out of games, sexism in video games, enough is enough, and the Mavericks have had it. If you choose to subscribe, or stay subscribed, you are joining the fight against injustice by watching my numerous video topics, from net neutrality to publishers covering up botched releases. The Mavericks are always informed on the issues plaguing your gaming experience today. So don't be left out in the cold, and don't let those people keep you down. Join the Maverick Rebellion today and become a member of the community that will listen and engage with you. What are you waiting for? Just click subscribe and you'll be in good company. Mavericks unite!